All right, stock market analysis, S&P 500. We're going to look at the SPY, and we're going to take a 1 to 3 month view as we look at this. And I will bring in now the SPY chart. And we always like to do a little lesson at the beginning of when we do this out in social media world, because a lot of people do not are looking at our analysis for the first time. On the bottom here are cycle brackets. They are representative of market energies, periods where markets advance or where they go into corrective phases. We add into that several other components to our analysis, and that is our momentum indicator. In this case, this is the reversal scout on this weekly chart. And we look at support, resistance, levels, and configurations in the cycle formations in order for us to do the projections that we do. Now, the big yellow areas that you see right over here are when important downside nesting comes in the energies in the market. So it's likely to get sold during that period and sold during that period, as are liquidation periods right in here, as you see. And there's another one coming up here in February, March, maybe even into the beginning of April. These two vertical lines that you see here are showing you the range of time that these cycles will likely nest into right over here. And in that time period is when the energies of the market normally are pushing to the downside. In other words, it's investor liquidation period right over there. Now, we had talked about that the market was likely to move up. I'm just going to take a closer look in here. And that is this period right in here. You can see the minor cycle rising in here. And it's rising against the downward momentum that we see right over here. That gives us some sense that the rise is likely to stall, and it's moving against this downside momentum, as you see right over here, and it would stall in this area right over here where the resistances are. That resistance is built off of this peak down to this trough right over here in this declining cycle. Then once it stalls in here and the sellers come back in, you get into this period of risk where there are actually 3 cycles coming down into that time period. That makes this the risky period. But how exactly, when it was over here, how did we get some indication that the market was likely to be moving to the upside past the level over here where it was just at the beginning of the year? Well, Matt did a great lesson on that just yesterday. He's done about 16 of these lessons, I believe, and just a fantastic job. And I'm going to show you that right now. As Matt, he did this long piece in here, and this is a clip from his trade planning session, and this was just from yesterday, and he'll show you our slim ribbon PO that really indicated that the market was setting up for another upside move.
Okay, you can see the slim ribbon right here went green or positive. So then the slim ribbon PO colors itself just like the candles do green to give us a visual cue of what the bias is, what the condition is. When the slim ribbon PO serves as a leading indicator is when you rally and then you start to pull back, right? So the slim ribbon PO goes into the oversold. Then what we're watching for is how deep is the decline. Typically, if it stays shallow and we're already in a positive condition, the arrow lets you know that we've come out of the oversold condition and now we're moving back into the more dominant, a bullish condition, which established itself back here. So, and then that's why I say it's leading, because it's letting you know that it's a confirmation, there's a signal. It's not we don't do buy sell signals. This is a confirmation of a bias or momentum condition. And it's suggesting that there's a likely continuation. And that's why if you combine, our techniques, take the swing low, swing high analysis, we had a swing low here, we had a swing high, as a trader, where's my entry signal? Boom, you get a slim ribbon PO, could be one example. You can have several of them. So as I was just describing, what are like trade entry opportunities? Well, I gave one here where you have a signal that comes from the slim ribbon PO suggesting that there's a continuation. What's the trend? I want to be with the trend. So once the 15-minute turned up, so I'm looking for that pullback into support, and then all of a sudden I get the green reversal scalp plus the green slim ribbon, boom, trade on.
Great work on that, Matt. Just a great look at that setup right there. And now let's just go back to our analysis here. So Matt showed you that our intraday analysis, our analysis was showing that there was likely a momentum resumption to the upside using the slim ribbon PO. That's a level 4 tool that we offer, and it's usable on the Thinkorswim platform. So that tool really gave a great indication that the market was getting ready to move up again. So you got that big move up here on Thursday. There's some residual buying coming in as the market was down 40 points here early in the day on some bad bank earnings, and Tesla moving down and hurting the other motors as it cut prices, the other auto companies and the bank stocks starting to report, and those giving decent earnings on the top line, but giving warnings also. There's a lot of warnings out there, so the market's down a little bit right now, giving some of that back as it begins to stall in this area. However, our analysis on the short term really points to the fact that the market is likely to continue to the upside, even though there could be a little bit of pullback in here. If you look at the daily chart, which you could see as a level 1 member in our snapshot that Matt puts out every day, it shows on there that our upside projections are out into the 3rd to 4th week of January. So it certainly could stall over here, but we're looking at this area over here as an increased possibility based on the magnitude of the advance. So we had originally talked about 403 on SPY, and this is 406, a very important intermediate 50%. This is where the upside projection is possible. We had rated it getting up to this area as likely and up to this area as less likely. However, now that's improving, and it's more likely that it can get up to 403 to 406 in this period coming out in towards the end of January. Then we get into this period of risk that I talked about for a long period of time and talked about in the beginning of the show. If you did not watch my opening monologue, I talk about what could push the market down again. And there's so many people writing and saying, well, the market shouldn't go down again. Why should it? And I talk about the reasons about that in the beginning of the show. So if you're just watching this on YouTube, just this clip or scrolled forward, you might want to go back and look at that. So this projection right now is either stalling in here, which is possible, or getting up in here to 403 to 406 in SPY, and then a lot of risk coming right in there. Down in this period over here, where we're looking for a decline, it's either the end of the bear market, in our opinion, as it comes down and tests or breaks below those lows to as low as potentially 320 here. But depending on how high this gets up here and how long it lasts, it could be a test of this level, or it could be where it doesn't make a lower low. If it comes down and breaks this or tests it, well, you know it's all part of the ongoing bear market and probably getting ready to bottom. However, if it pulls back on here and does not test this low, then what it will have meant is that this was actually the end of the bear market phase and the beginning of the next bullish or bull market phase. And then this period out over here in April, May, June, July, as we said in our year-end show, is a more favorable period. And we are looking for this to be a somewhat positive year for the stock market once we get past this period right over here. So that's a little longer look than I was looking at, but you can see here, period of risk, late January through early April is right in here. And I think the odds are pretty good that if you're an investor and you wanted to do some buying, that your opportunity to do so is going to come during that period.